When somebody comes to you and they say, hey, Matt, I don't have an email list and I want to start, what's their biggest hurdle? What's their biggest challenge they need to get past to the point where they can start an email list? Because I know that can be, people might have the ideology that's good and we're talking about it, that's very valuable, but there might be some barriers in the way that they need to knock over. What are those usually?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I've kind of had the same experiences as you, that it's tremendously valuable, but one of the biggest challenges is that people just simply don't prioritize it in terms of, if you're a content creator and you have an online business, you have 800 other things to do. You may be on the hamster wheel of content creation, and what I've discovered is that most people that work with me have two big struggles. Number one, it's how to grow the list. They don't know how to get subscribers, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure. And number two is being consistent. Because they'll have these spurts of, oh my goodness, I should send some emails, or I've got a genius idea and I want my audience to know, and they get caught up in the moment and they send an email, but it's not something that becomes systematic for them. So that's what I do, is I help creators to grow lists big, and not just with any old subscriber. We're talking about the people that you can truly serve going forward, the people that will consume your content in the future, that will buy your products, where you can build a brand. But there's a couple of things I think if I were to start anywhere, it would be on, why would you do this to begin with? Because in this space, at least the people that I work with, there's a lot of people chasing SEO. And I understand why. Look, I get it. I understand where this kind of fits. The reality is that you are competing with your brand. You're competing with anybody that has a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection anywhere in the world. So congratulations, you happen to rank for a certain keyword right now. That could change at any time. Or who knows what ChatGPT might do to our businesses? Or who knows if Pinterest is going to stop sending you, or maybe Facebook groups might change. I mean, it's not like this stuff doesn't change every 18 months in our business. And even more. Yeah. So I had, just a little sidebar. I've got a travel website of my own, and a lot of it has to do with cruises. We were doing great until March 2020, when all of a sudden, all traffic for cruises just gone. I'm not saying we're going to have another global pandemic, but we've certainly had enough world events recently to just illustrate, this stuff is not a for sure thing. But because I had a big list, I was able to pivot my content, and I was able to make as much advertising revenue that month as I did the previous month, because I was able to drive to different content, and only because I had a list.
Congratulations. That's really cool. And the why is so damn important. And there's so many different reasons why. I think another one to add to what you've just said is that people are spending so much time, money, effort, and energy, resources on SEO, gaining this traffic, and they might come to the site and then bounce off it, or they might read a post and then leave, or they might read two, which is excellent if you have a great content and great site. And then it's such a shame that you spent all of these resources trying to get people to the page, but not capture them with an email and own the email list. Whereas Google, you don't own that traffic. The traffic from your email list, you absolutely do own it. And that is really your business. Like you said, Matt, you may have had a lot less people coming from Google looking for travel advice and help to travel, because, hey, how can you do that when there's a pandemic? But if they're on your email list and they still love travel, I'm sure there was alternate things that you could give to them in terms of products and services that could keep that dream alive for travel and still earn the same revenue that you did in the previous months without the organic traffic. Guys, that is an awesome story to think about, and an awesome example to realize that if you own your email list, there's so much value in there that you can earn just as much revenue from it without just organic traffic. And then have organic traffic plugged on top of it into that is phenomenal. So, Matt, I just want to say well done. That's really cool. I'm glad that you shared that with us.
Well, it's also what you just described. What I feel a missed opportunity is the branding that you can do. So congratulations if you happen to rank right now and you're getting somebody that's coming to your website. The reality is that they land on your website. They don't know you. They don't care about you. If we're having the bounce rates that you were just discussing, and that's my experience too with my clients, then that person's often on their way. But if we're able to capture them in that moment, get them to join our list, you have the opportunity to use email marketing to create a journey, to explain why you're different, to offer up the next piece of content that actually helps them along the way. And in the process, what happens? Well, they get to know you. They get to know your logo and your headshot, and they bump around on the website, and maybe they experience your other great content. And pretty soon they're consuming all that you have. They're joining your memberships. They're buying your products. They're telling their friends about you, and you get the private yacht. This is how it goes. But it's truly a branding opportunity that most content creators miss because they're caught up in the SEO chase, the social media chase. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those. I understand how that drives business. But the great thing about this with email, you can leverage your existing content. You can share stuff you've already made and get more out of it.
Yeah.